The thief story continued. Summary. Hari Singh was a young boy of 15, but he was a thief and a cheat. At a wrestling match, he came across Anil. He won Anil's confidence and came to his house as a servant. Anil was a writer and did not earn much, so Hari Singh agreed to work for him only for food. Hari Singh did not know how to cook. The first meal which he cooked for Anil was so bad that Anil threw it or gave it to the dogs. But Hari's appealing smile made Anil give up his decision to turn him out. Hari Singh did odd jobs for Anil. In the morning he made tea and then brought the day's supplies from the market. Often he made a profit of a rupee in a day out of these purchases. Anil had no regular income. He earned something by writing articles and stories for magazines. But one day Anil came home with a bundle of notes. He told Hari that he had earned 600 rupees by selling one of his books. Hari's mouth watered at the sight of money. He decided to steal that money. Anil kept the bundle under his mattress and went to sleep. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. My hand slid under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the strings of my pyjamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an oil-rich man, Arab, for a week or two. So you heard in the last class that one evening Anil came back with a bundle of currency notes he had got from selling a book he had written to a publisher. He kept the money under the mattress and slept peacefully. Hari had been working for Anil for almost a month and he had gained Anil's trust. Hari saw the opportunity to rob Anil. It was not an easy task as he knew that Anil will be sad about the loss of money. He brushed away his thoughts and decided to execute the robbery at the same night, as Anil would have otherwise wasted the money on his friends. Hari considered the situation and crawled up to the bed when Anil was asleep. He slid his hand under the mattress and drew the money out quickly. He rushed out of the room and began to run on the road. He had secured the money with the string of his pyjamas. He was heading towards the railway station to catch 10:30 express to Lucknow as planned. He was elated when he counted the money on his way. It was 600 rupees. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. But I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help, and I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face when he discovered the theft would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. Hari reached the station just when the train was about to pick up speed. He could have managed to get into one of the carriages, but something unexplainable stopped him. He was left behind on the station. He decided to leave the station and thought, while walking through the bazaar, about how he would face Anil when he would come to know about the theft. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp from the rain. Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. But now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or learn to write whole sentences anymore. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences, I knew, could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal, and sometimes just as simple as to be caught. But to be really a big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway, in clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed, and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50-rupee note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. My spirits rose. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Today, we'll start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself, without any effort. So these paragraphs tell us how Hari felt after he dropped the money and tried to escape by the train. So now he was unable to escape, so he felt guilty and he was trying to come back. Hari had realized by then that he could not only cook the meals or to go to the market or buy daily supplies, but he had also lost the chance to learn how to read and write. Due to these thoughts and his feeling of guilt, he decided to go back to Anil, if only for the sake of learning how to read and write. Hari accordingly hurried towards the room. He opened the door cautiously so as not to wake up Anil. He quickly took out the currency notes which were damp because of the rain. He crept up to the bed and placed the notes under the mattress. After that, he went off to sleep in the balcony. Hari woke up late in the morning. He found that Anil had already prepared tea. Anil gave a 50-rupee note to Hari, telling him that he had earned some money by selling a book to a publisher, and from then onwards he would be paying him regularly. Harry was motivated, but he could make out that Anil knew everything, though he did not say anything to him about it.